Last time on Asagao Academy, we devoured some ham. And we were overthinking being invited to a tea ceremony. Possibly.
You guys are going to the ceremony tonight, right?
Yeah!
Of course, man. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Great! I'll see you there. Maybe you can save each other.
You bet.
Huh?
I'm going early so I can get a good seat.
You're so lucky! I have tennis practice tonight, so I can't go. And as you know, tennis is the evil sport. Take pictures for me, okay?
Sure, but you'll have to pay.
What?
Huh? Now, children, settle down. I know it's a big night, but don't forget you have homework. Jeez, what kind of school is this? Kids getting excited about a tea ceremony when I was your age? Well, I'm still your age, never mind. Huh? Miss Mizuno, please sit. You're distracting the class. Sorry. I stared at the floor as I rushed to my seat. I leaned over to me, whispering in my ear. Victoria's Secret. Wait, what? What was that about? Well, why does everyone know about the ceremony? Oh, well, Jared's the one who's doing it, so of course it's a big deal now. Hey, you told us last episode we'd find out who was... Nah, whatever.
Jared.
Jared!
You!
Miss Mizuno, would you like to tell us why you're yelling a man's name into the classroom? No, sorry! God damn it, Hana! I stood and bowed and sat down again. I was snickering in the seat behind me. Jared was doing the ceremony? Did that mean my invitation was from him? It was. Why do you want me to come? I didn't remember him mentioning anything about... Oh. My family owns a school for the traditional Japanese arts. Does this have to do with that? Maybe the school asked him to put it on. But still, why me? I felt stupid getting so worked up about something like this. Everything special does happen to me after all. Shaking my head, I focused on the algebra in front of me. Algebra? I thought you guys are doing... Whatever. It was just tea, no big deal. As soon as class ended, excited chattering burst out again. I'll meet you in front of the theater. We can go together. Hey, at least she has a date. Ugh. I'd be happy when this was all over. Ma and I gathered our things and were on our way out when...
Hana!
Hey, Hana! PBG and John jumped in front of us, blocking the way to the door.
Hey!
How are you guys? Doing good, you guys. You guys?
Excuse me. We're fine.
Ah!
You're good!
What was going on? John kept glancing at PBG out of the corner of his eye, and PBG was visibly sweating. Ew. Well, are you guys going to the tea ceremony tonight? Yeah, we'll be there. Although the thought of avoiding it altogether had crossed my mind. They both let out something suspiciously like a sigh of relief. What's going on here?
What?
What? You guys are acting strange. They're always strange, Hana. Good point.
Oh no, it's just,
We were wondering if we wanted to go there together. It kind of freaks me out going to super formal events like that by myself. Really? Going to the tea ceremony flanked by the Normal Boots guys. No one would dare touch me while I was with them. Oh.
Yeah.
Sure, that sounds great. Everything special always happens to me. Cool. We'll meet up in front of our dorm. Sound good? Sure. See you then. Oh, jeez. You can't count them for anything. God, give them some credit. What do you mean? You know, they're just so weird. There's no hope for them. It was a little harsh, but she kind of had a point. Damn it, Hana. Do you think we should wear a kimono? I don't know. It's a school event after all. Normally you wear a kimono, but isn't that too formal? I guess we're just watching too. I giggled. Yeah, we're just watching. My, do you know something?
Uh-huh.
I know lots of things. For example, Shane sucks his thumb when he sleeps. What? How did you find that out? I have my ways. I have a canary set up in there, in one of Gerard's cats. Sometimes Maya was a little bit scary. She chucked the clock resting on my nightstand. I put a canary in there too. We should probably head out. Don't want to be late. You're an honored guest after all. Yeah, I guess so. I put on my black Asagao loafers and followed Maya to the doorway. What? Why are we leaving? She was standing with one hand on the doorknob, deep in thought. Well, I was just wondering. What do you think of PBG? PBG, where is this coming from? Maya inspected the doorknob. Well, PBG's really kind, and he's very friendly. So friendly, it's almost like we've known each other for years, you know what I mean? Yeah, I do. Why do you ask? Do you find him attractive? Attractive? PBG?
I don't know.
I don't know. He seems almost like a big brother to me. I mean, he's great and all, but he's nothing like Jared. No. I froze the floor. Did I say that out loud? Oh, Hana! No, I didn't know.
Yahoo!
Our Hana's got a crush. Haven't we been over this already? He's nothing like my beautiful Jared. Oh, Jared, no one could ever match up to you. Oh, but it's fine. I get it. I'll let you off the hook, and I won't tell PBG what you said.
What?
Were you asking for him? La la la, a good friend never reveals her secrets. That's the opposite of friendship. Whatever. Come on, hurry up. We're definitely gonna be late now. Whose fault was that? Yours, mine. And also you, Hana, but yeah, definitely you, mine. You made it to the front of the boys' dorm. Versus PBG and Satch were ambling out. Oh, John. Huh? Where's John? Haley, she acknowledges it. He probably had something he needed to do. Hey, PBG! You'll never guess what Hana said about... I jumped up and covered her mouth in my hands.
What?
What was that? Nothing. You know how mine gets. Something wet and slimy hit the palm of my hand. Yeesh! You licked me!
What the hell?
You were blocking my right as free speech. They have that in Japan, right? Well, whatever. It was rude. Weren't you born in Japan? Yeah, but my creators weren't. Fourth wall, where are you? Oh. There you are. You are crumbled to pieces in front of me. Yeah. Your parents? Let's just move on from this. Yeah, it's better to just move swiftly along. I wet my palm gingerly against my skirt. Disgusting. Seriously, I think I'm breaking down from this. I see you're all as lively as ever.
Yeah!
Of course we are. The tea ceremony's tonight after all. Speaking of, we should get going. We started off in the direction of the theater. All around us, herds of Asagao students made their way across the lawn. The dying sunlight casts long shadows across the ground, making it seem like an army of shadows are attempting to take over the school. Oh boy.
This thing really is popular, isn't it?
Well, it is Jared doing it.
I guess that's to be expected of him.
Dot dot dot. There are 4 of us, but we are all so quiet. I was sandwiched between Satch and PBG. The most yummy of sandwiches. Wait, what? With Maya on the opposite end. I can only see her by leaning past PBG's tall body. I didn't really know what to say to start up conversation. We talked plenty of times before, albeit in group settings, so why was it so awkward now? Maybe it's because Satch was like the 3rd person that you went after and PUBG was the 4th person you went after in this game, Hana. Oh wait. Oh, sorry. The 4th wall has been broken for God knows how long now. I tried to think of something to talk about, but when I searched my mind, I came out completely blank. All there was Jared. No bright ideas are forming. It was like sifting through mud. Fires of panic hit my throat. I need to calm down. There's no need to be so insecure. These people were my friends. They weren't going to think that I was boring or anything just because I wasn't speaking. Or would they? The sunset sure is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
Very beautiful.
The most beautiful I've seen in a while.
Dot dot dot. Ugh. Silence again. But we were almost to the theater, so it didn't matter. Or did it? Ugh. Satch had his fist in his other hand as if he just had an idea.
What's up?
Yeah.
I just got it. It seems like there'll be more than one thing coming to fruition tonight. Oh, Satch.
Fruition?
Silly Satch. Teeth can't come to fruition. God damn it, PBG. It's not like there's anything else I'll be happening tonight, right? You're so silly sometimes.
No.
Maybe it'd be better if you didn't talk, PBG. Noted. We finally reached the entrance to the theater. A storm of relief crashed over me. I was nervous for the ceremony before, but after surviving that hell of a walk, it seemed like anything was possible. Satch opened one of the doors and a blast of air-conditioned air hit me, fluttering my hair and skirt. After you, Hana. I almost said Madonna or Marilyn Monroe, whatever. After you, Hana. I gulped.
Here goes nothing.
Theater. The theater was filled to bursting with the Asagao covers. Excited chattering filled the air, students showing one another out of the way to get better seats. I thought that rich kids would be better behaving students at my old school, but it seemed I was wrong. You throw a bunch of people together in a room and it's bound to get noisy regardless. Satch, PWG, Mai, and I stood at the top of the steps, wondering where we should go.
Yeah.
Look, there's our spots. 4 seats, right in front row, were roped off of purple velvet. Small cards with the words "Reserve" sat on the chairs.
We get reserved seats?
Of course, you're a special guest after all. A sinking feeling hit my stomach, and nerves bubbled in my throat. We trudged down the central passageway and scooted into our seats.
Aww.
Jared got us the best seats in the house.
So, what do you guys know about this? Isn't it just a tea ceremony?
The crowd here was acting as if they were going to a football game, not to an elegant cultural display. Football game, you say? Whatever. Just wait and see. He'll be fine. Somehow I doubted that. Whatever was happening, they were all in on it. Definitely. My mind flew in all directions, grasping at any explanation for the current situation. The only plausible one that I came up with was that Jared really wanted to serve me some tea. Or maybe he was going to give a special announcement at the end of the ceremony, some kind of monologue about... No, he wouldn't do that. I was way too shy for that kind of thing. Also, why in the world would Jared want to do something like that for me? Wait, what? As the girls in my class had so helpfully pointed out, I was nothing special. Fuck you, Mimi. Painfully shy, lurid pink hair, and somehow possessing the massive amounts of luck it took to befriend such amazing people as my Norwoods Club. To top it all off, I was poor as mud. I didn't even probably belong to Asagao, much less of someone as suave and graceful as Jared. Hana, shut up. But still, that was the only explanation that made sense. The lights dimmed in the theater. It's starting! I shoved my shoulder and I looked to the stage. My questions would be answered soon enough. A spotlight appeared on stage. There stood Jared in a kimono, glistening in the still theater air. The audience, contrary to my expectations, took him in with an odd hush. Jared's very presence was enough to calm the teeming masses. Good evening, my friends. A small murmur ran through the crowd. I distinctly heard one girl say, "He called us friends, ah!" Jared waited for the stir to die down before continuing. Thank you all so much for coming. This is a great turnout. I didn't expect this at all. Thank you for your interest in the traditional arts. He bowed, and a girl behind me sighed. I'm even more grateful you all came out, because there's something very important I wanted to do tonight. He was looking straight at me. Oh no. There's someone very special to me in the audience, someone I care a lot about. I'd like to do tonight's ceremony with her. The heat of 200 girls' combined animosity rose into the air behind me, but just as quickly it dispersed. Jared finally likes someone? Good for him. He deserves an established mating partner. I'm glad somebody said it that way. Jared reached a hand out toward me.
Hana?
Hana, my beloved Blossom, will you come do this ceremony with me?
So cute!
Mai started squealing beside me. I sat rooted to the spot, suddenly unable to move my body. Hana, go! Hands grabbed me. First Mai's and PBG's, then hands from people I didn't even know, each of them pushing me out of my chair and across the row of people, then out onto the stage. You just got crowd surfed. Except not in the air, but on the ground. I stood on its darkened edge. Come, come. No, don't do that on stage. Jave waved me over. I tiptoed to the spotlight at the center of the stage and took Jared's hand. Polite, not too enthusiastic applause filled the theater. Jared knelt in front of me. My lady? Directly in front of him, under the strong beams of the spotlight, he seemed ethereal. He motioned to a small cushion set out on one side of the tea table. After you. I sat on my ankles, as I was pretty sure you were supposed to in this kind of situation. I should have paid more attention to this stuff in school. Jared moved to the seat opposite me, then turned and faced the audience. As some of you know, I have been trained in the art of the tea ceremony almost since birth. However, as you may already realize, this ceremony will not be a formal or traditional one. I altered it to add my own special flair, to express myself, and to accommodate my lovely partner. I hope you all forgive my transgressions against tradition. Sometimes one must follow their heart and forge their own path. He tossed his hair, flipping his hair. Head. Motorcycle in the background, ruining the mood. He tossed his head, flipping his hair in a graceful arc and out of his face. Girls gasped throughout the theater, then started cheering at once, as if we were in a baseball stadium. Anything for you, Jared! Jared held up his hands and the cheering faded. Now that that's out of the way, I hope you'll enjoy the ceremony. Please try to contain yourselves, ladies. I want everyone to be able to enjoy this in its purest form, and that means taking in the perfection of silence. In spite of myself, I was impressed. Jared often used honey-glazed words to charm his audience. If anyone else were to say that, there was no way it would work. Something about Jared warped universes. Like phase shift. Wait, what? Please help me while I try to make my feelings clear. My mouth went dry. What was I supposed to do in this situation? Was he really trying to confess to me via public tea ceremony? I didn't believe it, but there was nothing else to think. Finally, Jared sat in front of me. He pulled out some utensils, a bowl, a whisk, the usual instruments, and began to methodically clean them. His movements were sharp and crisp, efficient and elegant. He was applying just the right amount of force. Nothing was wasted. You know, Hana. I flinched. He was whispering, his head bowed towards the bowl in his hands. The audience might be able to tell he was talking if they looked sharply enough, but they wouldn't be able to hear what he was saying. You caught my eye from the first moment I met you on that train. I didn't trust my voice to respond to him without cracking or carrying to the seats just a few feet away from us. Instead, I tilted my head at him. Huh? I mean it. I know it might seem like I say this about all the girls, but I really mean it. You were quiet, scared, and small. Despite your fear, you also seemed bored, almost apathetic about your situation. Yet, I could feel that there was something inside of you, some pent-up energy that couldn't be contained for long. Now, he was paying that much attention? I thought back to my first day of Asagao. Jared was the first person I met. We shared a train car. He was sitting and reading a paper. Our conversation was empty, the bare minimum of small talk. I couldn't even remember half of what I said. I was so nervous. Jared finished cleaning the bowl and turned to a kettle, heated on some kind of stove. Gently, he picked it up and poured some of the water into the cup. Then he began to stir it with a whisk. It wasn't just that, though. You were scared, but you weren't hiding. You were afraid of the people you met, and what they would think of you, but you didn't think to fake your feelings. You have always been, from the first moment I've met you, genuine. You are honest about your feelings. You don't hide them when you're upset. I don't even think you can. And you're not deceived by appearances. You treat people like people, seeing beneath the dazzle and the beauty. For an instant his stirring slowed, then it was back up to par. If I hadn't been staring at his hands rather than his face, I wouldn't have noticed. In fact, maybe I didn't see anything at all. You are a brave person, Hana. You try to trust people, even though it's clear you've somehow been hurt. He poured the tea into a cup and handed it to me from across the table. When he next spoke, it was in a clear, ringing voice that echoed across the theater.
Hana?
You captivate me, Hana. I offer you this tea as a sign of my respect and admiration. I nodded, then turned the bowl 3 times in my hands and drank from it. A soft cooing drifted up out of the audience. Please, if you like it, finish the tea. There is something else I want to get for you now. Jared stood and disappeared through an opening towards the back of the room. I sat, holding my tea with the eyes of several hundred teenagers resting on me. Oh dear Lord, please hurry back, Jared. I tried to sip my tea with poise, but ended up gulping it down in swift chunks. However, Jared suddenly reappeared, his hands behind his back. He sat down again and looked at me expectantly, almost bursting. Hana? My dear Hana. I put down the tea bowl, eyeing him warily. He took his hands from behind his back and held them out in front of him. I gasped. On them was a small kind of macaron, somehow shaped like a beautiful cherry blossom. A sprinkle of sugar lined the petals, and a small ring of cream could be seen underneath the pink crust. The pink was rather bright for a cherry blossom, though. Then I realized the pink was the color of my hair. The day we first met, the cherry blossoms were blooming. As I was going to bed that night, I realized that I would never look at the petals in the same way. They gained a beauty I had no idea was possible. Cherry blossom petals fall quickly, and their beauty swiftly vanishes, but I don't want to lose the beauty I've found with you. Please, Hana, tell me, will you be my girlfriend? Ah, damn, that's suave as hell. The crowd squealed. I was reeling, almost as if hit in the face. By Ham. It felt like a dream. It was crazy enough to be a dream. But as I leaned slightly forward, a pang hit my ankles from having sat on them for so long. This was no dream. This was actually happening. Jared beamed at me, seemingly the picture of confidence. As I sat in front of him, I could see that his hand was, just the slightest bit, almost imperceptibly, trembling. Jared was scared. What should I do? Okay. So, I'm not sure about how these ceremonies are supposed to go. Rejecting the macaron in Jared's love is obviously the worst idea that we can do, because, well, this is a dating simulator. We are supposed to pursue the man that we are going for. And rejecting the macaron in Jared's love is definitely the opposite of doing this. Taking the macaron and not eating it, I could see that being something we could do, but I'm trying to think of like the customs that I am aware of, like the Japanese and Korean customs for this sort of thing, and it seems to indicate that people would favor eating it, I think, as you're ingesting what they're giving you, and if you do that, you're accepting them. So I think we're going to take the macaron and eat it. I took the macaron from his outstretched palm and immediately bit into it. Oh my gosh! The cookie part of the macaron crumbled in my mouth, the perfect combination of soft and flaky. And there was something else too. Strawberries? He used strawberries to make the frosting. Actual real strawberries. I didn't even know that was possible. As I stood there, losing my mind to the macaron, Jared beamed and helped me stand. It was like that one anime about cooking good food and then your clothes exploding off because food was so good. Because it gave you an orgasm. Okay, enough about that. This game is PG-13 at least.
Alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, she said yes. The crowd applauded and cheered. I chewed frantically, torn between savoring the taste of the macaron and the possibility of accidentally smiling with food in my teeth. Jared lifted our hands into the air, nodded at me, and we bowed together. Thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed the performance tonight. I'm so glad you could be a part of this, and have a good night. There was one last round of applause, then the crowd dispersed in a clatter of murmuring and shoes on wood. Jared turned to me just as I swallowed my bite. Do you like it?
Yeah.
It's amazing! And to prove my point, I took another bite. Jared laughed. You have crumbs all over your face, and your clothes too. I looked down to see my blazer and skirt littered with flakes. I flushed. It wasn't my fault the macaroni was so wonderfully flaky. Here. Jared leaned towards me, brushing crumbs off my shoulder. The familiarity of it made my head spin, but he was my boyfriend, so of course this made sense. My boyfriend. Oh, that. You've got a little something here, too. With a glint of in his eye, he stepped towards me. There was Jared's face, a soft brush, and a hint of warmth on my cheek. Ah! When he pulled it away, I was so glad I still had my mouth full. I had no idea how to respond to a kiss. You're so cute when you blush. And all of that just for a kiss on the cheek. He didn't say anything else, but the implication was there. How was I going to deal with more? Practically certain my ears were smoking, I shook my head frantically. Jared laughed again as I gulped down the last of the macaron. He glanced up at the now almost completely empty auditorium, only Satch, PBG, and Mai stayed behind. You better get going. I'd love to walk you back, but I have to clean this all up, and students aren't allowed in here after a show. Plus it's past curfew. I checked the clock on the back wall. Past 9 already?
Bye.
You go on home, I'll see you tomorrow, okay? What? Jared had already walked away and was now gathering up his supplies. I wanted to help him, but Satch tapped my shoulder and nodded to the exit. Outside, PBG, Satch, and Mai began to celebrate.
Yahoo!
3 cheers for a job well done! I knew you were in on it!
Mm-hmm.
Of course, anything for a best friend. Leave it to Jared to be so suave.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That guy's a real entertainer. A real ham. PBG also acknowledges it. As we stepped away from our theater doors, I hesitated. Guys, I'm going to wait for Jared.
What?
What? But it's late out. It's past curfew. He'll be fine. I'll just be waiting by the door, so it's not like something is going to happen. Satch and PBG traded looks. No one trusted me to be able to take care of myself, especially considering my measly 5 foot 2 inches. Mai was about to protest again, so I cut her off.
Seriously?
I'll be completely fine, and Jared will walk me home. You guys will be in trouble if you don't leave now. I've made my decision. Shouldn't we stay with you? I want alone time with him. There wasn't much they could say to that. Alright, wait for not back at the door in an hour. I'm coming after you hear? Yes, ma'am. We said our goodnights and it's disappeared to the shifting moonlight. Satch is a magical presence, but I have to concentrate on Jared now. Oh god. I stood back by the theater door and waited. It was a beautiful night. All not perfectly clear, the clouds passing over the moon created shifting patterns across the grassy grounds. A flower. Now, a Pegasus. Now, a sword. It was lonely, but it was also peaceful. I was around Mai for so long, sharing our rooms, that I hadn't had time to myself just to think. So much changed since coming to Asagao. I had friends, a potential club, a tournament, and now even a boyfriend. I always thought having a boyfriend would feel somehow different. I'm not sure how, I just thought it would, but I felt completely the same and in fact jarred me. My fingers, hands, and face. Everything was the same. I shivered. It was much colder than I thought it'd be. Or maybe I was just feeling it more because I wasn't moving. I bounced on my feet, hoping to stir some warmth into my body. Jared was taking quite a while. I should have brought my phone. Then I'd be able to practice. How's Dad doing? I hadn't heard from him in a while. Was he eating right, now that I wasn't there to take care for him? There to care for him, excuse me? He seemed to kind of give up after Ram died. His only sparks of life came when I was with him or when he was working on pottery for the shop. Which I was probably with him for. Pottery shop was Mom's dream. She and Dad worked together, starting a life and career from scratch. I wasn't sure, but I thought their marriage was troubled. I didn't think my grandparents wanted my mother to marry my father. They disowned her. That was why I never met my grandparents. And that was why our family struggled so much. Oh. Well. That's heavy. My mother had refined, elegant behavior. She covered her mouth when she smiled and laughed. She flowed around the workshop like the tinkling of bells. She always seemed to fill the space of whatever room she was in. It wasn't that she was loud, she was just bright. Always cheerful, always working hard, always passionate about her art. I missed her terribly. As I stared up at the moon dancing behind the clouds, the same old worry came to me, the one that I constantly tried to block out. What was my passion? Door opened next to me. Jared stepped out of the theater, holding a giant box of random kitchen supplies. His kimono folded on top. The whisk was in his mouth.
Jared.
Jared! Move! He jumped, almost dropping his box. I rushed to hold it up from underneath. He continued to stare at me in alarm, and seemed to be trying to say something. After a moment's hesitation, I plucked the whisk from his mouth. What are you doing here? I didn't want you to walk home alone. But it's been half an hour. I faltered. It was embarrassing, but I might as well say it. I was really happy that you wanted to date me. I honestly couldn't even believe it was happening. I still can't. It feels like a dream. I can't believe that you might actually feel the same way about me that I do about you. I couldn't just leave you to be alone after that. I'm your girlfriend after all. Jared stared at me, mouth agape. I couldn't believe it. He was actually speechless. Hana, I mean, of course we were meant to be together. There's no way two such attractive people as ourselves could exist on this earth without belonging together. He snapped his head back to flip his bangs. Something about it didn't feel right, but I was too happy that he returned my feelings to care. We should head out before we get in trouble, though. A fair man like you shouldn't be facing the threats of darkness alone. I'll help you carry something. Oh, my dearest Hana, what have I done to deserve such a magnanimous flower as yourself? I chuckled as I grabbed his kimono and a precariously perched kettle off his pile of things. We dropped his things off in the first floor Bluebell house, then headed to Primrose, discussing the performance and all the preparation that went into it. The hardest part was that macaron. You did not want to know how many I had to go through to make that. I feel bad that I had to eat it, though. That's so pretty, it was almost a work of art. You have no idea how relieved I am that you enjoyed it. I was so worried that it, of all the batch, didn't end up tasting good. It was delicious. Please make them for me again sometime. Of course. Anything you ask, I will do. Anything for you, my lady. I wish I could have taken a picture of it. Still, I think it's good that I ate it. I can understand your feelings much more through its taste than its appearance. It was beautiful, of course, but the taste had a kind of warmth and care that I didn't get just from looking at it. Jared stared at me, a giant grin on his face. Was that stupid to say? Of course not. No, you're just too damn cute for words. Anyway, it seems we're here. I looked up. Somehow we came to my dorm in record time. I hadn't even noticed it happening. Already? I made a face up at the building. Screw you, building. Don't worry, Hana. I'll talk to you tomorrow. But for now, it's late and I've taken up too much of your time already. Thank you for walking with me. It was unbelievably nice of you to wait for me.
Hana.
And thank you for being my girlfriend. No, I mean, thank you. I mean, My star came back with a vengeance. A revengeance. Jared patted me on the head. Good night, Hana. Good night. And with that, I dashed into Primrose's house. Jared stood outside, watching until I got past the main doors and it was clear I was safe. Then he began his walk home. I had a boyfriend. A boyfriend. Jared was my boyfriend. Oh man, no amount of saying it would ever make it feel real. Boyfriend. And that was chapter 2. Now we're in chapter 3 with Jared looking concerned and angry. I wonder what's going to happen later on in this route. In case you like this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all later. Ciao.